Welcome, everyone. So, I am Natalie Mack, the founder of Military Homeschoolers Association, and I'm a 23-year veteran military homeschooler, retired Navy chaplain spouse, mom of five amazing homeschool children, and just excited to be here today. So, we are live streaming. And it is verified on our Military Homeschoolers Association Facebook page, my personal LinkedIn, as well as MHA's YouTube channel. So if you're watching us there, welcome. If you comment, I think I can see your comments and I may feature your comment on our screen. And if you're watching the replay, we welcome you to do so. Please know that all the platforms, the recording is able to be shared. Those are public platforms, so you can take the link and use that share option and share this out to your particular military homeschool community or to any community that it would be relevant. We definitely want to get more eyes on this database, and so hopefully MHA can help our military connected homeschool community get connected to this database. I can't talk about it enough because I really do love it, and I think that is an incredible tool. It consolidates all of the awesome resources, scholarships, and financial support that's available within our military community. It consolidates it, and it's done so extremely well, as you will see. So I won't just be sharing my personal opinion. I'm going to show you. I'm going to share the actual website, and you'll get to listen to Kristen and Emily talk about it. So super excited about our discussion today. And so I want to say thank you so much to Kristen Ferrulo and Emily Williams for joining us today. And go ahead and just share a little bit about yourself. I know you, but I want our community and our viewers to get to know. So go
Thank
ahead,
you,
Kristen.
Natalie. Thank you for having us. I am Kristen Ferrillo. I am a 10 plus year military school liaison. I am in Maine currently at the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, and I support Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. I was fortunate enough a few years ago to have the first partnership between the Department of Defense and AmeriCorps, and was able to bring this project and a couple others to life because of Emily, because of the work that she's able to do. And so I will let her introduce herself.
Thank you. And yes, thanks again, Natalie, for having us. We are so excited to get this conversation underway. My name is Emily Williams. I am the first Military Youth and Family Support Vista in the AmeriCorps Vista program. And I've been serving here on the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard for the last 2 years with Kristen, just getting totally immersed in all things military families.
So that is so exciting. And gosh, AmeriCorps, that is an awesome opportunity. And I know that Kristen is so happy, right? Because Kristen, tell us a little. This is something that you've had on your heart for a while. Yes? I don't want to tell your story. You tell your story.
It was about a year or so in, and I was, as a school liaison, it takes a long time to learn even what you think you know. And so I was working on trying to get some more scholarship resources for military families, and I just realized it took click after click after click to even find any information. And so as Emily and I started processing it out, it took about 13 clicks to find out if you even qualified for most, not all, but most scholarships. And that becomes very defeating for families. Families don't have the time for that. They're moving place to place. They're just trying to make this all happen. And I thought there has to be a better way. And so it was on my board of like big projects that I wanted to tackle, and there just never is that kind of time. So when the opportunity presented itself to apply for this grant, I took it, and that was my top project. Because I knew the impact that could have on military families. The financial burden of college is absolutely huge. And we wanted to make that a little bit more accessible for all of our families, and dependents, veterans, everyone that we just think should have the opportunity. So
Definitely. And so, you know, I would assume you didn't have a lot that you had to do as a school liaison. You were just kind of wasting
Mhm.
time, right? So that's why you
Absolutely.
weren't able to get it done.
Right, right. I mean, 3 states and, families moving and schools. I mean, the high school liaisons have nothing but time,
Right, right.
which,
Nothing but time.
yeah.
And so I personally love the school liaisons across the branches. I'm honored to be able to support you all. We are still working really diligently, right, Kristen, and all the
Always.
other branch school liaisons to really get connected to the military
Hmm.
homeschool community. So if you're a military homeschooler and you don't know your school liaison,
You
then
should.
you should know your school liaison. You do have
Absolutely.
one. You do have one. And so get connected. And if you're struggling to get connected, you can reach out to me. I kind of think I know how to get you connected at this
Hmm.
point to just about all of the branches. And I know the Coast Guard has something similar, not quite school liaison, but they have something similar. And I know Navy, sometimes you all support Coast Guard, right? Families as well. So that's super awesome.
We serve all branches. So
Yeah.
all of us serve everyone. So, it doesn't matter what uniform you wear. We're kind of just here to make sure everyone is taken care of. So
So that's good
no
to
worries.
know.
We take care of everybody. Yeah.
So, okay, so on an installation, and we're going to get to the Joint Services Scholarship because people want to hear about the money. I get that.
Hmm.
But I also want to take a plug about the school liaison. So what I hear you saying, and anyone that's listening, even to the replay, if you're on an installation that, say it's an Army installation,
Hmm.
and they have an Army school liaison, but you're Navy.
Hmm.
So what I'm hearing and what I already knew is what Kristen just said is that
Yep.
that's your school liaison because you are assigned to the installation, right? Not
Yes. Correct.
necessarily. Okay. All right. So that speaks to just about everybody. So get connected. All
Mhm.
right. So I'm going to go ahead and mention you quoted something on LinkedIn, and it's really important. It said, you said, did you know that the average cost of college has more than doubled in the 21st century with a
Mhm.
compound annual growth rate of tuition at 4.04%?
Yep.
And so I am like amazed in it. And also, you mentioned that as of 2024, there was a report by Melanie Hansen of the Education Data Initiative. So the average cost of college in the United States is $38,270,
Yes.
including books, supplies, and living expenses. And then if you have a student that's attending a private nonprofit
Mm.
university, it goes up to an average of $58,628. Wow. Like craziness,
Yes.
craziness, craziness, craziness. And I hear a lot of families that, especially within the military homeschool community, probably across the board, have had these conversations is where are we going to get this money from? Like, how are we going
Mm.
to pay for this? Your child's been either brick and mortar or in our case, in the community that specifically MHA serves is the military connected homeschool community. So your child's been studying, learning, doing well, you've created that transcript. So military homeschoolers or any homeschoolers listening, the transcript's your responsibility. So
Yes.
make sure you get
100%.
that transcript done, and it's different than diploma, just so you know. But anyway, we're not talking about that today. So, but you want to find the ways to get the money and help your student along towards their dream if it happens to be to college or to a community college or any type of post-secondary destination that's going to cost, right?
Hmm.
You want
Right.
to be able to help them. And so this scholarship database will definitely help you. It will put you in the place where you and your student can actually search and weed out, like you said, right, without a whole lot of time
Hmm.
searching. And
Right.
I mentioned, before we were talking even a while ago, and I was saying, wow. So when I was looking for money for college a while ago, the books that were this thick, and I know they still
Hmm.
exist, but like everything is so fast paced in our world and everything's digital, at least a lot of it is. So this scholarship, database will help our kids who are now of age and searching and who are used to searching something digital, right?
Right.
And so
Right.
what are your thoughts? I think that would be, I think that's true. Is that, Emily, what's your experience with that? What are your thoughts about it?
I will say we've gotten some really positive feedback so
Yes.
far as the ability to search and use this database and really get your hands on it and get in there and get the information that best suits and helps you. Because we want to save you that time and we want to save you that money. So we've really tried to make it as easy as possible to use. Um, and that's another large piece of this AmeriCorps program as well. They really look at the sustainability and the capacity building and the equality for all. So there might be some families that, really need to use this database, but maybe don't have as much experience using Excel or some type of similar format. And we've created an instruction sheet that pretty much breaks it down into about 3 steps to help you
Wow.
along the way.
Okay, that's awesome. 3 steps I can do. I think most people can manage 3 steps. So this is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and present. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll start talking through, because I have a couple of questions. And if anyone has any questions, please pop them in, and we'll bring them up. Or later, if you have questions in the replay, we'll bring them up, and we'll be able to respond. So let me see. I'm going to share a screen, and I'm going to pull up. I'm hoping that you're able to see it. Let me see 1 second. Okay, are you able to see the screen? Yeah.
Yes.
Are you able to see it? Okay, great, great, great. So this is awesome. I love it. And got the dandelion. So we know the significance, but do you want to, why did you decide to put the dandelions and all? I know what they stand for, but maybe someone else doesn't. So what are your thoughts about that?
So our military kids grow where planted. So wherever they end up, our military kids, our military families, they have to experience so many different places. And when a dandelion blows, it those little pollinators, whatever, they grow more dandelions right there. So that it really speaks to how our families are, and our families are not just resilient, but they're insightful and they're intuitive, and they know how to read their environment and kind of find their resources. So it's we're excited for them to be able to take this and hopefully help their kids plant their roots somewhere else. So, or right where they are. Either
Right.
way.
I love it. I love it. So when you mentioned resiliency, I literally just got off of another live stream with the American Red Cross,
Hmm.
and they offer resiliency workshops. We have one planned for next Thursday in the DC, Northern Virginia area. It's going to be on Fort Belvoir. And so, and we were just talking again about the dandelions and all, and how resilient our children are. And
Hmm.
the whole military community by and large, right? But it helps to have a little bit of support. It helps for someone to come alongside and say, I want to support you. I see how hard you're working. I see the struggles. I see the challenges of military life. And, let's see what we can do. And so that's what AmeriCorps sounds like it has done. Is that Emily? Am I right with that?
Right. The veteran and military families is a big focus area for AmeriCorps overall, but this position itself was actually the first partnership between AmeriCorps and the DoD. So that was a great step in just even acknowledging that, hey, we see you and we know that there are things that need to be fixed.
Awesome, awesome. So I'm glad that this was one of them. So yay! I know Kristen is too. Okay,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. So, let's see here. Gosh, so many questions I'm thinking of. First off, I don't know if we said this, but I'm going to ask the question again because it's good to ask it again. Is there a cost to use this?
Absolutely not. No
All right.
cost and no PII, no personal information required to get in there either.
All right. So that speaks to a lot of people right there. Definitely no cost, and you don't have to share all your information, because I know we get a little concerned as military families having to share a lot of information. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start. You can walk us through this website. So let's see here. We have so like you have said already, it's fully searchable. It says here, military dependents. So that's children, spouses, descendants, and relatives. So wow, and it says etc. So tell me a little bit about those people.
Well, so I've also kind of used this database to expand that definition of what we consider a military dependent, because we've found about 180 awards open to grandchildren of either active duty or veterans, and even I think it was 60 or something for great grandchildren, which I think is a demographic that definitely never thinks to check for military scholarships.
Yeah.
So that was really important to us. And then the spouse scholarships. Do you want to take that one?
Oh my gosh, I was so
Yeah.
excited to see so many spouse eligible scholarships.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we forget about our military spouses, our moms and dads that are staying home and serving beside their partner.
Yes.
And to be able to provide them with the opportunity to find scholarships to improve, their employment or whatever it may be is really wonderful.
Right.
Exactly.
That's a really excellent point. Wow, that you brought that up. This scholarship database is not just for college. There are so many other post-secondary opportunities, whether it's trade school or CTE programs or community college, professional certifications and trainings. There's really an option for everyone in here.
Okay, everybody hears that. And I often say to military homeschoolers that college is just one post secondary destination, as I call it. There's so many. And not one is not any better than the other. It's really what you are particularly seeking and what's going to take you to the next phase, where you want to go. So that's good, because increasingly we're finding homeschoolers who, and probably non-homeschoolers who, are wanting to go into the trades, and some of those programs cost. And so you have the resource here to be able to tap into that. Or maybe, like you said, community college, where someone wants to just get adjusted to college courses, or they want to save a little bit of money. That's why they're looking at the scholarship database, but they also are going to community college because it's cheaper, right? It costs less than a 4-year. So that's all awesome. And so again, all branches, so that's joint services. So we have 6 branches. So the COSTEs, don't get concerned, because you are considered here, definitely. And
As
so
are our National Guard and Reserve families as well.
Right.
yeah, thank you.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody, National Guard Reserve. So let's say military connected,
Absolutely.
definitely. And a lot of times, gosh, I hear families say, because MHA, we serve all military connected. And I've had families ask, well, we didn't retire, right? We just served a few years. And I'm like, you served, right? And not everybody's going to serve and retire, but that doesn't limit, or that doesn't take anything away from the time that you did serve. And so it's really good when programs recognize the veteran, not just the retiree. So this is good. And ROTC. So shout out for the ROTC kids and
Right.
people who want to go the ROTC route. So that's definitely awesome. So let's see here. Over 1,000 total scholarships, it says, 632 military dependent, and those descendants, including the spouse eligible, grandchild, 60 great grandchild eligible. Wow, you've been doing a lot of work, Emily. When you start finding for great grandchild, you have been doing a lot of work. So that's awesome. And so the numbers are here. So the website is, and I don't know if everyone can see it, but we can definitely, let me see if I can copy and paste it, because that way, let's see, I'm doing some tricks here. So let's see if I can copy and paste it over here and send. That will post. Yep. Okay, that's the website, partners in purpose there.com. So we're going to go ahead and go. So I'm going to, let's see here. So anything up here that we need to take a look at? Anything under what's our why, our team resources, and what is AmeriCorps? We talked about AmeriCorps. Anything under any of the tabs you think I should click on?
It's really just a lot of our story, how we came to be, and what this means to us. Under resources, Emily has also created a database of just school books that would impact military families. So there is a flyer you can download for that, as well as a flyer you can download for the scholarship database, so you can share with anybody that you want. Make copies, put it on your resource tables, whatnot. But the library database is really great for all those families going through a deployment or reintegration, or the topics in there are pretty endless. So lots of great book options for our military families, our homeschool families, etc.
Awesome, awesome. So, um, it has here, I see military life themed children's book list is what she was referring to. And so, you military homeschoolers out there, I know you have bookshelves that are bursting with books, and you're trying to make sure you're not overweight at your next PCS coming up in a few months, if not next month. And so, but look at this list, like children's book list, and these are based categorized, it looks like, by theme. So we have deployment, preparing for PCS. I see holidays, caregiver loss and absence, grief. So we've been talking a little bit about the wounded warrior families and
Right.
the hidden helpers, which are the children who are serving. Who often we can kind of forget, right, about them.
Absolutely.
But they are serving and making a difference. And one of the things I recognize is within the wounded warrior community, many of them are homeschooling families. I was told by I don't know exactly who gave me that information, but I've heard it a couple of times, and so I know that not only do they have caregiving responsibility, they also have the homeschooling responsibility. So,
Right.
Right.
so we want to make sure that we support them. So I love the resources that you have here. So I'm going to go back. Let's see if I can get back. See how I want to do this. I think I can get back. Let me make sure that I went back for you all. Yep. Okay. So I want to go here to where it says click here to access the database, because that's what we really want to. Oh, and down here is tempting me. Look, branch specific resources coming soon. I like that. So you got some additional things. And I know who's going to maintain the database. And I believe I know who.
We are.
That'd be us.
Yeah. Yeah, the awesome. Yes, right. Emily's going to make sure, right? And AmeriCorps has allowed you to extend, I think, again. Is that correct? Or an additional?
I'm in my extension currently. I'm
Okay.
in my second extension year, but we have discussed it. So like this is it's a passion project, but it's become our baby. We've seen it from the ground up, and we would love to keep it running. And that's really what our families deserve. This isn't going to go anywhere because they're still going to need it. So
Right. Awesome. Okay, everybody, don't worry. Don't worry. It's going to be here. All right. You may have a child, or you may be looking ahead and not quite ready, but because you can go ahead and start your searching now, even if if it's not something that's pressing, right? So I'm going to click here to
Right.
access database and stop talking as much. I'm going to make sure that everything switched over with me. Did it switch? Let me see. Let's see if I can get it to do what it should do. Let's see here. Doesn't look like it switched over. Why are you not going to do? Let's see if we can get it. I think this happened. I'm going to.
There you
Let's
go.
see.
Yeah.
Yep. So awesome. So, gosh, so much information here. So well organized, categorized, and color coded. So I'm going to start with the color coding down here. So I see. Tell me a little bit about the color coding down on the bottom.
Well, so it's just to make sure that everyone knows where we're looking at, and we're looking at the right pages when we're trying to put in our own information. We color coded the tabs on the bottom so that you know which section of the database you're looking at. Our purple is our dependents for our families. Our green is for the active duty and veteran scholarships, and that yellow orange tab is for the ROTC students.
Okay.
The blue tab all the way at the end is that little instruction sheet that we talked about a little while
Oh,
ago. So it does have about a 3-step process as far as searching, but it also has some key terms if you're looking at a category that you think you need or is going to help you out, but you're not really sure where to start.
Right.
That's got some key terms as far as can help you jumpstart your search.
Awesome. So we're going to go back to this one here, and then we're going to start with, because it's acting a little wonky. So we're going to try and see if we can get this. So do you see the instructions yet? Let's see here.
It was on a minute ago.
We're looking
Okay.
at the website page right now.
Okay, what did I do? Okay, we're going to click here. Let's see if we can get it to go, and it's deciding it doesn't want to.
There
Okay,
you go.
there. All right. So what we have now is the instructions, right, that you just talked about.
Yes.
And so, and you all, the website's easy to use. It's me. So just so you know, I don't want you to think it's actually me and navigating with StreamYard. And so, and it's not StreamYard either, it's me more than anything. So just so you know, if you're looking, going, oh no, it seems like it doesn't work right. The website is perfectly fine. It's me. So I want to make sure I say that. But this is the instruction sheet. So, like you said, it's just a couple of steps. You want to talk us through what the steps are?
So when you're looking at either the dependent page or the veteran page, whichever one suits you, you'll see some little white caret arrows at the top of each of the columns, whether it's, some of those categories might be the relation to the service member. If we're looking at dependents, that would be things like children, spouse, grandchildren, or like the branches, things like that. Those are the categories that you're going to want to search in. So if you hit one of those little white carrots, it'll give you a
Like here,
text
under
filter
branch.
option.
Let me,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, look at this. Okay.
So you are going to go to text filters and then contains. And so that way, even if it's not written exactly how the scholarship has it, if the word is in that box, it'll find it for you. So this is helpful, for families if their parent is in the Navy, so you can get all those other branch scholarships out of there right away. And then you can kind of go right down the line and pick out the information that best suits you.
Look, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I didn't even notice this.
I would try it out. Text filters. And
go
then contains.
Text filters, and then text filters. Come on. Contain. Okay. And then put in I'll put in Army.
Perfect.
Yeah. Let's see what pops up. Oh wow. Wow. Super duper. Nice. So we'll pull up anything like you said that has Army in it. Right. Nice.
And
okay.
So things like this we found were most useful when it looks at either application requirements or, like we said, kind of that relation to service member category. Those are things where this might be the most helpful. And especially if you're talking to your homeschool audience, some of those application requirements might be a little bit different.
Yes.
So that would be a special area to pay attention to.
Okay, great. Look at all these categories too. And like you said, you can do the text filters and contains, but I'm just like amazed at the categories that are even possible. Like this is something else. Wow.
So there is going to be, that's why we've kind of chosen that text filters and contains method of searching, because there's so much variability with the language, because we obviously didn't write any of these ourselves. We're not going to change the wording. So all of the information is taken directly from the site hosting the scholarship.
Yeah.
So whatever organization that may be.
Yes.
So there is a lot of variability in language. So you might have to do a couple of searches, especially if you're looking at a few different programs or things like that. But either way,
I mean,
it is in there.
Yeah, I mean, but the amount of time that it has taken for you to actually like put all of those categories in so that we can then filter, right? So that's amazing. I love it. So wow, I see, scholarships, 100th Infantry Battalion Veterans Memorial Scholarship, the 10th Mountain Division Light Scholarship. Oh my gosh, 82nd Airborne Association Dependent Scholarship. All right, 9/11 Promise Scholarships. It's just in abundance, and this is because I did the filter here, right? So,
so whenever you want to get rid of a filter in any of your categories, you do just have to go in that same little caret and hit the clear filter.
Okay, here, clear filter right here. Let's see. Here.
Okay. If you don't manually clear it, it will stay in there, so you won't see the whole list.
All right. So make sure that you go back and clear it, and you can put in filter another search. Let's see here. So we have our categories. Of course, scholarship name. They have links, award amount. Now, let me back up the link, because sometimes, gosh, like maintaining links and having the access, sometimes you find scholarship listings and they don't put the link. You have to go look for the link. And so this is it. It's right here, you all. It's
It's
right
right
here.
here, and it doesn't just take you to the website landing page or the information page. It takes you as close to the application as I possibly could without giving you the actual PDF in a file.
Wow. Wow.
And the
Wow.
other thing is that the links get scrubbed every 6 months. So Emily has gone through the database every 6 months to click on every single link and verify that it goes where it's supposed to go and not either going to a dead link space or
Yeah.
going to, a web page that no longer exists or content that may not be what you expect it to be. So we've really made sure that families can actually get there when they hit the link. And a lot of these scholarships are not necessarily the big scholarships that, may be the most popular and well known. So there's a lot more opportunity in here for scholarship than you may have envisioned.
Mm-hmm. And so let's unpack that a little bit more, what you just said, because I don't know if people really got what you said. What I hear and what I think I know is there are the big scholarships that you can pretty much find advertised a few places, or quite a few places, right? And people apply for them, but so many people apply for them
Right.
that your chances are fairly slim. Somebody gets it. Somebody does
Somebody
get
gets
it.
it. Somebody.
Right. But, out of lots and lots of applicants. And so,
Right.
so I always tell families the money really potentially could be in the big one, but for the most part, right, the money is in the smaller ones added up, right? Which means you got to hunt and search, but you don't have to hunt so hard now because you have the database.
Right.
You can actually just go. Emily's making sure those links remain hot. And you can go and weed out. You save some time, and you can find scholarships that actually probably fit you more specifically than some of the big ones where you're kind of hoping that you show up well enough to get selected. So I don't think a lot of people. Am I correct with what I'm saying?
Absolutely. We also, it really, I can tell you as a school liaison and working with so many students, if you have a high school junior that's a rising senior, start looking now. Start using this database and saying what's out there. And then what are the requirements for that scholarship? If it has an essay, start thinking about what that essay looks like. Is that so that you can kind of start to prep a little bit for what's coming, and maybe even be able to get into those scholarships that have an earlier close date.
Yes. Yes.
You're going to be ahead of everybody else because a lot of people might not be thinking about that.
I love
And
that.
those scholarship application either open or deadline dates are also something that's updated about every 6 months when I'm going in and checking the website links.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Good to know. Good to know. And when you talked about getting started early on those essays, another resource comes to mind when, and that's the tutor.com with Maureen Haney. I know MHA is going to begin to partner with them because I believe in that program as well. But they have the essay drop off capability. So we have used it this year for sure with our current 12th grader. I said, listen, plug it in and get some help. So you're right. Get those essays done. Utilize the resources that we have, the scholarship database, tutor.com, and plug, make it work the best for you as possible. Let's see what else I want to play around. Oh, so let me go back to the category. So like I said, the scholarship name, the link, and then the award amount and type. And so I see a variety from unspecified to varies, max of 4 years. So Emily's gone through and made sure that if it varies or if it's a max, then you actually get to know all the details. And then all of these have carrots as well. So it also has when the application opens, which is always sometimes you're like, when does it open? And the deadline, which is important. And let's see here. We're going to scroll. I'm going to move the bottom over. I see, of course, relation to service member affiliation, the branch, description, all right, of what it's about, additional application requirements, intended program, and state specific. Oh, look at this one. I like that. Again, you can filter, but it has all the states. So you can actually look for those state scholarships that are just for those students who are residing in that state. This is great.
And sometimes it's not even the student that resides in that state, it's the military member that might reside near that base or in that state. And so
Yeah,
that
I
can
love
again be
it.
super helpful when we're looking at those grandchildren and great grandchildren awards, because you might not need to live there as long as your service member
Yeah.
does.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. See, that's clarity. That's why Emily's here, because you give
Right.
it instruction. I love it. So the veterans and active duty, we were just on the dependents one, so now we're on the veterans and active duty one. And like you all remember the color coding that she mentioned at the beginning, so it's green. And then we have the yellow going to go to that, ROTC. Wow, look at these. This is amazing. And then our blue for instructions. This is great. This is so great. Now, let me see if I have any particular other questions, because I think by going through this, a lot of my questions were answered. Um,
So we also want
go
students that
ahead.
are currently enrolled in college.
Yes.
Many of these scholarships are also available to them. So even if they've already enrolled, they've already started their college journey, they're getting ready to transfer to another college, maybe they're in a grad school program,
Yeah.
there's still scholarship opportunities in this database.
There
Excellent.
really is something for everyone.
Something for everybody. Yeah, that's super cool. Because that's, again, I hear families and particularly students who are like, well, if I go somewhere else other than directly to a 4-year and I want to transfer, a lot of the money this colleges, 4-year universities give is to the freshmen.
Yep.
And, I'm transferring and there's not as much money. So that's good. So you can find money in here, y'all.
The other is that all of the popular scholarship databases that are online that exist that are guidance counselors, our high school guidance counselors, really make sure that kids are aware of. Emily's been through all of those. She's also been through every military scholarship database that is out there, everything from MSEC to Fisher House to
Wow.
all of the other branch specific school
Yeah.
liaison databases that we have. So we're kind of really at the, if it's out there, it's in here.
Yes.
So people really, this is a one-stop shop, and
I love
that really brings more to all of those scholarships for all of those other resources. So
Okay. So I'm going to actually, because in addition to being the founder for Military Homeschools Association, Kristen, you know this, and I think Emily, I also work part-time for Homeschool Legal Defense Association, and I am the military outreach coordinator for HSLDA. So what does that mean? That means that we have a listing that has our scholarships. And so this is going to need to be front and center. Just go directly to this, you all. Go directly, like they just said. All the ones that are you often see mentioned, they're all already in here. So this
We said-
streamline, go directly, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was about, was it 40 websites and 500 hours, I think, to create?
Yep. But I think by the time she's updated it, I think we're closer to close to 800 hours she has invested into this scholarship database alone.
Oh,
So
easily. I can't even, for me, I spreadsheets and databases, I would love to have more capacity. So I already shout you out just for that ability. And then the fact that you've spent that much time, it's just, I can see the time. You can see it was well spent. It's quality. It's easy to navigate. It's done professionally. And so that's why every time I think about it and talk about it, I said, okay, we have to get you all on. And so I know we tried before, but we made it happen today and we're live streaming. So sorry to those who were looking for us before. It was me. But we're here now. So, and if you're watching the replay later and you have questions, definitely they can reach out. We have the instruction sheet, that blue tab, and you can get information there on how to do it. But if you have any other particular questions, If you send them to me, I'll get them directly to Kristen and to Emily. They're the ones. I'm just bringing the product to you. I'm not the one that really knows, but I can get you connected to them for sure. Or you can reach out directly to them. They're both on, I know, LinkedIn. So
Right on our website too. If you scrolled all the way to the bottom, right under those branch specific resources, we do have a
okay.
contact form, and
Yeah.
that goes directly to my inbox. So if you have any scholarship database questions or how to's or any other questions regarding us and who we are, that can go right to me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can.
Okay, let me go ahead and pull that up so people can see it. It decided it was gonna. Okay, so talk me through that part one more time. I'm sorry. Now that I'm on the
Yep.
list. Oh, yeah, here.
Right there, anything you put in goes right to me, so I will
Okay,
see it very
awesome.
quickly.
Yep, so right here. See, it goes right to them. You also fill it out, submit,
Yep.
and ask
If
the
they have
question.
questions about their search, if they're just having a difficult time, or they have a question about if they have a scholarship out there and they think, "Oh, I didn't see the scholarship that we have that we want to make sure families get," let us know, and we'll make sure it's in there. So any questions that are out there, it comes right to us. So
It comes right here. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm gonna stop sharing. I have one other question I was gonna ask you. Um, if someone has a new scholarship or a scholarship that by some unimaginable chance it's not there. But if they do, or they just are creating one and they want to get it to you, then they can fill out that form and submit it there, and
yes,
you can take a look
Absolutely.
and look into it and see. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I don't have any other questions. I think this has been great. I so appreciate you all. I don't know, Kristen and Emily, did you have anything else before we close out? I think this was good.
no, I think this was great. I'm just grateful that we were able to have this opportunity to get more information out there and to share this work. It's so important to both of us, that we just find new and innovative ways to take care of our military families because they deserve it. So thank you for having us and
Thank
um,
you.
sharing Emily's amazing work.
Yes, 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 yes. I love it. I appreciate you all. Thank you so very much. And if you're watching the replay, make sure you comment, let us know if you have any questions. You saw how you can reach out to them. Make sure that you are liking and following the Military Homeschoolers Association Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our Base to Base podcast is out there and we are accepting additional guests. The military community is vast, and so covering all 6 branches all over the world. You military homeschoolers, I need to hear from you. So make sure you follow on YouTube. And I appreciate you all. And thank you so very much again, Kristen and Emily, and anyone that's watching, appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you
Excellent.
so
Thank
much,
you.
Natalie.